up guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We're back again this week with another video for you. In today's video, we'll be making a robotic arm. Last week's video was a robotic hand. Today we're making the arm. As these videos take a long time to make, I've said it before and I'll say it again. So please subscribe, that helps the channel out a lot. We're going to use this servo motor for the base. The first step is to apply hot glue onto the white part of the servo motor. Now remember, the base has to be heavier than the actual robotic arm. The next step is to get a servo motor. You put glue on the side of the servo motor and you put this just like that. Son. So the next step is to apply some glue right over here for this servo motor to connect onto. Like that. Okay, so the next step is to glue another servo motor at the bottom, like right over here. Just hold it around this position to wait for it to dry. And yeah, it should dry pretty quickly. So the next step is to take your glue gun and another piece of popsicle stick that's about a bit bigger than half of what this size was, and put a bit of glue at the right side. Right, just like that. And then get this piece and then just put this servo motor piece right on like that. And make sure it's 100% straight on a 90-degree angle so your servo motor doesn't tip over. So now your robotic arm is 90% complete. Here is the left side view and here's the right side view. The last step is the hardest step, and that's the pinchers. So for the pinchers, I'm going to be using a zip tie and some string. Let me explain this to you in more depth. So all you have to do is get your wire cutter or any kind of plier or scissors and cut the tip off and cut the part off like that. So you're left with this middle part that's kind of gripish. You can cut that part off. And after you do that, you just have to fold it in towards itself so that all the little bumps are facing towards the inside. And then you'll get something that looks like this. Just get something to like hold it together. You can hold it you can get a clamp, or you can just hold it together with your hands for a very long time. And yeah, this is about it. Now you're pretty much done. Just close it and hold it like this and give it a minute to fold. So guys, it's been a while since we left that thing on, and now you get this V shape. Now just get some string. It can be any color you want. And just pull it all the way through so that it goes all the way to the back, and then it loops all the way around again up to here. So that would be around here. So for this size that I'm using, I need at least this much string. And I'll need a bit more later, and I'll show you guys why. So after you're done cutting it, you just get your glue gun and put a small bit of glue at the tip over here. Just like that. And you grab your string, hold one side down with your hand and try not to get your hand burnt with this glue. Put it back there, just hold it down like this, and there. So that's one side done, and just do the same thing for the other side. The second side should be a bit more easier because one side already glued down, so it's kind of getting held down from. So yeah. There you go, this is part of this. Now you wait for it to dry. So after the glue has dried, you can pretty much just twist the end so it turns a bit more skinnier. And you get your servo motor, this part of your servo motor, and you glue these sides together. Okay guys, so most of the stuff is done. Now if you notice that when this thing is open, it looks like this, and when you pull it, it closes. So now we're going to pretty much use this system to open and close the pinchers of the robotic arm. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to glue this part at the top of this popsicle stick which I added, and I'm going to glue this part at the bottom of this popsicle stick. So it's going to essentially look a bit like this. Okay, so you know how you had the second piece of zip tie over here? So for some people that part doesn't really work out, like for me, because you see when this thing goes up, it pulls it this way. And if this string was connected to here, this would also turn this way. So instead what I did was I got rid of this part of the zip tie, and I'm going to connect like a piece of popsicle stick right here. Acts kind of like a wall and stops the thing from going through. So guys, this is the main structure of the arm. So just leave it like this, and now we have to get out to the wiring. So now it's time for the wiring. Since we're going to control the robotic arm with potentiometers, we're going to connect all the potentiometers onto the breadboard. So here's one. And now here, all 4 potentiometers are on. Next step is to extend the wires at the back. So for the ground pin, we're going to be using yellow color. And for the 5-volt pin, we're going to be using the orange color. So the ground pin is all the way on the right. So if you hold the potentiometers facing towards yourself and you look to the right, that means right over here. This pin is the GND. Here's another ground pin. Here's the ground pin, and here's the ground pin. And then all the way on the left, there's the 5-volt, 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 5-volt. And the middle is the analog pin. On your board, there's going to be at least 6 analog pins. Analog 0 through 5. And now you just connect the ground pins to another breadboard. I'm going to be using a white breadboard. So the ground pin, as I said earlier, is going to be yellow. And the 5-volt pin is going to be orange. Now all you have to do is extend all the GND pins or the ground pins of these potentiometers. You can use whatever color you want. I'm using yellow for it to be more easier for you guys to understand. Now all you have to do is connect all the GND pins in order from here onto the big yellow wire that's going all the way to the Arduino board. And there, just like that, all the GND pins are connected. Time to extend the 5 volts. So now I connected all the 5-volt pins to the orange pin that goes out to the 5-volt pin in the Arduino board. So now the next step is to extend the analog pins. I'm going to be using random colors for this, so it's more easier to understand where the wires go and for which servo motor they are for. Okay, now this is done. We just connect them in order on the analog pins. As I said earlier, there's 6 analog pins right here. So this goes on to analog pin number 0, the first one. The second one is gray. It goes on to analog pin number 1. So now all the analog pins are attached to the board. And now let's go on to the servo motors. But before we move on to the servo motors, you see analog pin number 0, A1, A2, and A3 all go up from here, around there, and right into here. So that's where the white one goes. That's where the gray one goes, right in there. So for the servo motors, I'll be using these things. These are pretty much just pins that are used to connect stuff like this onto a breadboard like this. So the main idea is to just plug this right in here, flip it around like this, and plug it right there. It makes it look much neater, and I just overall like it more than just using a bunch of jumper wires to extend it. So here I'll be extending all the wires. So here it is, the moment you've all been waiting for. Robotic arm has finally been built after a long time of hard work and effort. So here is the control panel. This is for the base, turning it left and right. This is the first turning up and down part. The second motor. Here is the third motor. And here are the pinchers. So you just pretty much grab something like this. You put this all the way up and you pull this down like this. You grab onto the thing you want to grab onto, like that. Then you bring it back up, bring this back up, bring this up, turn it around wherever you need to drop it, turn this part down as well, and then just drop it. Now we're going to be testing the first thing. We're going to be trying to pick up this wheel. First step is to align it, move this thing down to see if it works. If you move a bit lower, it'll hit the wheel, so we don't want that to happen. We just want to pick it up. Turn it here. You can kind of adjust it like that. Turn it again over here. Just like that, so it picks it up. Change the claws, movement, so it holds it. Now pick it up like that. Turn it back to wherever you want it to go. Bring it lower, and just let go. Let go. I said let go. Yeah, and just let it go. And there it is. Your wheel got picked up and got put down by a robot, which is absolutely useless. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more amazing builds just like this one. In the future, we will build cars, airplanes, drones, and many other things.
So please subscribe and wait for the next video.